Hey, what's up, students? This is Mr. Brashears. Hey, in this video, we're going to talk about assets. Assets are anything that you're going to put into your game. They could be sprites, backgrounds you've created, other graphics. They could be sounds. They could be music. All sorts of those things, and you're going to need to know how to manage assets. Okay, so as you recognize, here is the Construct 2 screen, but mostly what we're going to be showing you is how to get assets into Construct 2. Okay, so one of the first things you're going to do is there may be something where you're seeing my Google Drive here, and I have this folder that lots of times if you're creating a game for me or for something else, you'll find a folder of assets. And what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download that. And if you can see down here in the bottom right here, it is going to do what's called zip the file. So if you imagine if you've ever gone on a trip and you had to pack your suitcase and you had to get all sorts of stuff like packed into the suitcase and push it down really hard to zip it up so that everything fits. That's kind of what it does when it downloads into a zip. And you can see here it's called a compressed or a zipped folder. So I'm gonna save this someplace where I know it's gonna be. You all may decide to save it to your student server. That's the one with the file with your student ID number. But I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Okay. As you can see down here, it says assets, and at the end there it says zip. Now I can't use those yet. Okay, before we can use those, we have to do what's called unpacking those. So what I'm gonna do is, now I'm gonna find that folder. Here it is, assets. And you notice it's got this little zipper on it, okay? That is that it is zipped, or it's compressed. I can't use it yet, I have to unpack it. So I'm going to right click, and right here it says extract all. And then it will ask you where you want to put it. You can browse different locations, you can rename it, but usually I just hit extract. It usually extracts it to the same place that it was before. Now, as you can see up here, here came this folder. And now on here, I can see this. I go up, I just double check, and you can see I've got the assets folder, and I've also got the assets zip folder. The one that I want to look at is to make sure, oh, look, here's these things. Now, here are these assets. They're actually for Starfish Collector, which you'll be making soon. Okay? But once I've got that, this zipped folder, once you're done with that, to avoid confusion and save space on my computer, I actually just delete it. Okay? And now if we go back, you can see it's not there, but we've got this assets folder. Now you just need to know where that folder is for when you start to put stuff into Construct 2. Now, let's talk about one of the things that we have used a lot is Piskel. And you may be using some of the stuff that you've created in Piskel in some of your games. Let's say I'm going to pull up my, this is a single frame sprite that I may want to use. Maybe I want to use this for a background. So if you remember in Piskel, we always save to our gallery, and you'll see the little Pac-Man up there. But then I want to export this guy, okay? If it is a single frame like this is, I want a PNG, and I'm gonna download it, okay? So if I wanted to do that, I could download that, okay? Export, and download a single frame. Now let's say, for example, let's see, I'm gonna go to my gallery here. Let's say I want to have an animation, okay? Now, I'm gonna use this guy here. I'm gonna edit the sprite. And for him, okay, he's already been saved to my gallery. If I want to export him, if I hit GIF, okay, right here, if I hit GIF and I download as an animated GIF, that is pretty cool, and that will look like a little like the GIF, and it will play. However, if you want to use that animation in your game, you don't want to download it as a GIF. You want to download it as a sprite sheet. So here's what we're gonna do. If I hit PNG, and I'm gonna export your animation as a PNG sprite sheet containing all frames. Awesome, that's what I wanna do. It's gonna tell me columns 5 by 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and download that. Okay, if I wanted to change that, I could, but we'll just see what that turns out. And I'm gonna go ahead and download that. I'm gonna, as magic trick, and when I open it up, we should see, here we go. We've got the 5 different frames. We've got all the different frames going on. It's a 5 column by 5 row. Now, it looks a little weird because the color is blue. Okay, so sometimes you don't want that. But that's how you're gonna, in Construct 2, then you can use that sprite sheet to make it animated in Construct 2. Okay, so sprite sheet is how you get animations in Construct 2. You will be learning that later, but that's good for you to know. So once again, we went over in this video how you download assets folder. And once you've downloaded assets folder, if there's a zipper here, you need to right click, extract all. And once you do that, you will see as a file with no zipper on it, and you can access all the contents in there. We talked about how you export a file from Piskel, and how you can save it either as a sprite sheet if you want to use that animation or not. One last thing I'm going to show you is that you will learn, if you don't know this trick, if you're going to do Google search. Let's say I wanted to search for something on Google that is a okay. I just want a video game rocket ship. Okay. Let's try this. Maybe I'll change it to a pixel rocket. And okay, there we go. So those might look like some of the things that we might want to put in. One really helpful thing to do is if you decide to, you can go to settings and advanced search. One of the things in advanced search that's really nice is you can change the size or the aspect ratio. But one thing, if you're going to be putting things into a video game, chances are you want a transparent background. And if I click transparent, and that's all I need to do for right now, and I'm going to hit advanced search. Now, if I open this guy up, do you see this checkered? That means that is transparent. So when I download it or when I put it into Construct 2, if I were to do that, it would not have any background. It would be blank. You can see all of these are going to have a transparent background. And once again, if I wanted to save them from here to put into an asset folder that I'm going to use, I'd right click, save image as, and it would allow you to save it to where it's going to go. Okay, so there you go. There's all your hints on asset management.